What's up once again, viewers and listeners? You're welcome to JCTV Africa, your channel of choice for all your political news, updates, and analysis. And today we are looking at the issue of the passportless border between the border of Botswana and Zimbabwe. So, I want to clarify a few things that are here. First of all, there was a communique that was circulating on social media that Botswana has agreed to scrape off the passport and people are going to be traveling using IDs. But I want us to look at one of the articles that was written by Voice of America. It says here, the President Emerson Mnangagwa said he has informally agreed with President Mokwetsi Masisi of Botswana to allow Zimbabweans and Tswanas to travel between the two nations without using passports. He said this without elaborating at an ongoing Kusi Ideas Festive in Gaborone, Botswana, titled Africa's Agenda, Making the Dream Come True. I want you to take note of the word informally agreed. And let us listen to this video where the president spoke.
I've been talking to my brother here after he was making a statement here. And we have agreed, I can announce it, we agreed that from now on we shall instruct our officials that there should be no question of how to enter Zimbabwe or how to enter Botswana. That should be cleared. The two of us have agreed.
This didn't mean that this was an informal agreement, which means that they would probably fundamentally agree, but they'll say, okay, these things to go to parliament for it to be passed. So hence we have now seen that there is Botswana MPs reject Zim passport deal. This is in the Independent. It says Gaborone Botswana parliamentarians have unequivocally expressed their opposition to the proposed removal of passports for travel between Zimbabwe and Botswana. Responding to a statement made in the National Assembly by Labour and Home Affairs Minister Aaron Mokheti, members of parliament from both ends trashed the proposed arrangement, which would see citizens of both countries use national identity cards instead of passports at entry points. One must also understand that this arrangement is already between Namibia and Botswana. But also, on the other hand, you must then understand that as this arrangement is there between Hage Geingob of Namibia and Mokwetsi Masisi of Botswana, this arrangement that is there, it is based on mutual agreement. And the rejection by the Parliament of Botswana means that this might not go ahead. However, let us look at one of the lady that actually spoke about why this was rejected. Sheila Kama, she's a former CEO of De Beers in Botswana. She was responding to Hope Oshingono's tweet about why this deal was rejected. Say you are right on many fronts. As a child of Botswana, looked to Zimbabwe, then Rhodesia for life's basics and luxuries. In fact, even post-independence, the education system established during Smith era was enviable, and many Botswana parents enrolled kids into Zimbabwe boarding schools. Truth is, even with the current conditions, Botswana's economy is far too small to sustain the influx. So in the end, neither the citizens nor Zimbabweans could have been saved by the arrangement. Ironically, given the Botswana small population relative to Zimbabwe's potential in mining, agriculture, tourism, manufacturing industry, as well as internal market, that country is more likely to sustain the collective needs. But first, it must lift itself by the bootstraps. What is tragic is that post-Zimbabwe elections, our leaders did not take opportunity to get the root cause of Zimbabwe's problem. They falsely assumed eliminating passports can rid the region of any economic problem. Nevertheless, kudos to the men and women in the streets, because ironically, having Zimbabwe economic refugees, Zimbabwe's human capital sustains much of the SMEs sector and creates job in all SADC news countries, right? And they are not at home as they should. So you can see from the tweet of this lady, Takama, that she is one equally unhappy with the setup because he believes that Botswana cannot sustain having many Zimbabweans in Botswana because one, people will go there for healthcare and other things. And number two, she is also unhappy with the leadership of SADC for not looking into the issues that are happening in Zimbabwe. What she then says, she says that Zimbabwe is suffering from a lot of brain drain and a lot of SMEs in Botswana, in South Africa, in Namibia, they are benefiting from the human capital that is coming from Zimbabwe. So what it means is that these countries, the reasons why they won't act on Zimbabwe as some people would want it to happen is because they are the direct beneficiaries of one, the human capital that is coming to their countries and boosting their economy. And not only that, it is also benefiting their business. So in the end, they'll say, you guys, Zimbabweans, are saying we have a problem. And the guys saying, okay, we don't have a problem. We have you guys working, coming here to work with us. One, you are a good human capital. Number two, you are well literate, and so we benefit. So whether you say, we want SADC to act, we want SADC to act, I don't think it's possible because these guys in SADC, they are direct beneficiaries of the cheap labor that is coming from Zimbabwe. So in the end, they will act in the interest of their business people that are inside the country. But I would love to hear your thoughts about this, and I would love to know what you think about this setup and why this deal of Botswana was rejected. Paints a bad picture about the leadership in SADC in general, that these leaders are sucking, not only sucking, they are sucking Zimbabwe dry of its human capital. They are benefiting immensely from Zimbabwe. It's not that Zimbabwe is one that is seeking to benefit, but in rather it's Zimbabweans that is losing one, because if people were going to go there and order groceries and other stuff, it's Botswana GDP that was going to be boosted. And also, besides that, is already benefiting because if you look at the people that are in the construction industry in Botswana, a lot of them, they are Zimbabweans. They are the ones that are owning companies. They are the ones that have got capital that is working there, human capital that is working there. You go to South Africa, you look at the construction industry in South Africa, a lot of the people that are there are Zimbabweans that are doing the bricklaying, that are doing all the carpentry, they are doing all the construction work, the plumbing, and all of this work that I are doing. Go to Namibia, it's the same thing. Go to Mozambique, it's the same thing. You find a lot of human capital that is benefiting. So these leaders will say, we are benefiting. What are you talking about? Problem? We don't have a problem. So these are the things that Zimbabweans is faced with. How are we going to get out of this problem? I don't know. And I would love to hear your thoughts. What do you make of this situation? And are you happy with the situation that we are in? And do you think that this deal is going to go through of a portless borders? All that in the comment section.